Quick disclaimer, this is alleged, so please think for yourselves and just watch the video and come to your own conclusions. Thanks. Hey, and welcome back to Justice for Animals. We were discussing in the last video about animals' healthcare, and today it will still be about animals' healthcare because I am apparently jealous of them. So yeah, let's get into it. The comment I mentioned, the one about us being jealous, is actually still there. I don't know if anybody can see it, but nobody deleted it. It just, for some reason, doesn't show. I've been trying to figure that one out for a while. I don't have a spam thing to see if maybe it went in there, but anyway, moving on. The video in question is about a cat called Lucy. Lucy has a broken spine, and unfortunately, she can't get around so easily without crawling. Which is where the idea of wheelchairs comes in. She needs a wheelchair for her back so she can move around more. But when asked about it, he basically turned around and said they didn't have them. Which I believe is a lie, because we have evidence that there is. And there's a lot of them out there. There are people that actually make them especially for this in Vietnam. So as we were basically showing you, it is a thing. There are people that actually do this, and I can tell you one thing, if it works for small dogs, then it definitely works for cats. There are people that do this. So he had places to turn, but he refused. He literally said no. And unfortunately we haven't seen the cat since that video, so that's another weird thing, but I'll go into the rest of it for you. So, from oldest to newest, I'm going to show you several comments, and you can actually guess which ones are actually which. But in one of the newest ones, I can safely say that he tries to actually say to somebody to support this particular cat, Lucy, when he says in an earlier one that Lucy is apparently already dead. Which is rather weird, because he also said that Lucy is also in a new home. So which one is it? Which is it? Is Lucy gone? Is she alive? Is she... what? What the hell is she? Where is she? And why have we never seen any updates or anything like that? Why have we only seen one simple video since he rescued her? If you can call that a rescue. So this other one is by a person called Jisha, who has been trying to help them in the past, but unfortunately has been ignored completely like the rest. Sadly, his comments were actually deleted, and there seems to be a common theme. Every time somebody tries to help the person, they get their comments deleted. They keep repeating everything that's wrong, like the kittens that were fed in their backs. He allowed the girl to do that several times, not just once but several, after being told the fact that it could kill them. And unfortunately it just goes on and on. It's like a cycle, really. Which brings me to the next part, the part about money. He made a comment on one of CSV, I think the person's called, one of his comments, saying that apparently he doesn't have any money to look after the pets. Which is really rather strange, because he is making money through this, be it through donations or be it through YouTube itself. YouTube gives him money. He has ads on his video. He literally gets paid for this. Can't forget the fact that he sells clothing as well as other merchandise for the channel, so yeah, there's that also. As for the cat we mentioned, it's actually called Spicy, and as you can actually see, he has both pink eye and he also has what is called ringworm. Something we brought up in the last video as well. This is what the person CSB was on about. They actually said that about the pink eye and the ringworm, and plus they also were the same ones that were told by this person that they had no money, and literally the person's fans attacked him for it. Speaking of money, Cuongs basically done a charity live stream. He never gave any name of any charity. He just did a live stream and kept telling everybody that he was going to send the money to Central Vietnam. Now, for those of you that don't know, there have been several floodings in Vietnam, and many people have passed away, sadly. May they rest in peace. But this man, this person, decided he was going to make the live stream and call people to actually donate to his own animals healthcare account. And the problem I see with that is it doesn't go directly to the charity at all. In fact, it goes nowhere near the charity, it just goes to him. And the update he gave everybody for it was none other than just his own account details and the money going into his account from PayPal. That was it. Nothing else. No other updates, and it's been over a week now. There have been people asking about it, but unfortunately, nothing. But I'm going to show you a few clips and what he actually said during the live stream, as I managed to get them before he deleted the stream. So here they are.
Animals healthcare, YouTube take 30% of money if I donate this live stream. Is there better way? Okay, Kevin Arden, thank you so much for your asking. I'm sorry, Kevin Smith, thank you so much for asking. Because you also can send donation through PayPal link. Okay, I will put the link below this live stream. So if you can send it through PayPal, it's also take the fee. Okay, I don't remember exactly the fee from PayPal, but for YouTube is 30% as you said. So exactly you can do it by other ways, or by this way is also the same. They still take the fees, and I only have two kind of ways that can take or get a donation from you guys. You said the center of Vietnam, but what are we all donating exactly? Okay, I'm going to answer the questions of Maniso Gamers. Okay, you guys are not donating for myself, for me. You are donating for the Central Vietnam through me. Okay, I will help you guys to send your donation. But of course, you can send directly to someone else, some others, not me. But if you are members of Animals Healthcare, you can send your donation through me to the center of Vietnam, to people right there. I will not take any money or price or fee from you guys. Okay, I just help you guys to send your donation to help the people in center of Vietnam right now. Okay, please understand this. Okay, I do not take money for myself in this donation. And of course, after this live stream, I will make a list of the donation and donator, and I will publish on our YouTube community. Okay, who do you make the bank transfer to? Yeah, of course. The first I will take the donation. If it's through PayPal, it will take about 1 week, because PayPal is holding our donation about 1 week, and then it will take another week to take money from their bank to our bank, and then I will send it to one of my friend. I also sent a small amount for him last 2 days. Okay, there are a lot of group and people are helping the people right there, so we can easily find them. But exactly, I will choose it carefully, because the money and the donation is limited. We cannot send it in the wrong direction. Yeah, my friend is a member of a volunteer group. He is moving, okay, he's moving and going to the centers of Vietnam right now, and I still get updates from him day by day.
So it went from you getting it and sending it to a charity to you getting it to send it to a friend who happens to be working for a charity. But in both cases, you never said a single name of a charity. You've just said your friend. Who is your friend? What charity did it belong to? What charity is it you're sending it to?
He mentioned the charities he is waiting everybody to donate to. Oh yeah, I'm waiting you guys to donate for Central of Vietnam, not for me.
So yeah, that was him basically saying that he was going to donate to Central Vietnam. No charity given, nothing like that. His friend doesn't have a name apparently because he couldn't give it. So yeah, I don't buy that for a second. Usually when you do a live stream, you want to have the charity organised so you know who you're donating to, and so that everybody else knows who it is so they can trust it. And usually you would set up so it would go directly to the charity instead of your own PayPal account. That's his PayPal, it went to him. And unfortunately there was $400 that were basically put into that, plus there was an extra 100 I think it was in the live stream chat. Basically I watched the whole thing through and it just, no. This next section I actually want to call out one of his mods, a person called Jisha, who basically blatantly lied to everybody on the place and the channel. Literally said that the person had passed away and that it was another person talking, and then they changed the name a second time to Haria. Was it Jisha to, was it Ditri, and then it was Hadia. So unfortunately that led to more arguing, and it kind of escalated from that live chat into the comment sections of Animals Healthcare, which also led to people asking questions about Animals Healthcare, because he did actually comment on one of the threads, but it was to tell them to not say anything bad about Jisha, the person that apparently died, and then lied about the whole thing. So yeah, that makes everybody confused, doesn't it? But I can simply say this: Jisha is his mod. He is responsible for the mods he takes in, and if he can't do anything about that mod or doesn't want to, then it's on his conscience, not everybody else's. You see, the issue I actually have with this is the fact that you don't lie about things like this. This is just morbid and also disgusting. People have lost their lives to these illnesses, and unfortunately, or car accidents, and this person is using it as a way to gain attention or something. I don't know why you would do something like this, but it's just horrible. It's disgusting. It should not be done. You never lie like that. This person, who is Jisha, clearly changed the name to Haria, like most of the way through the conversation pretty much, and then basically ended up somehow changing it back again. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, there's no answer for this. It's just really pathetic. This next part is about how incompetent this idiot really is. The fact that he can't even look after the animals right. And the fact that he literally turned around and told somebody that he didn't have the money to pay for them to begin with. So I'm going to show you several clips, one of which to begin with is a cat that he rescued, and he was actually filming the cat for a while, and another one walked on screen, and you can literally see what happens for yourself. So I'll play that for you. Now I'll keep doing it, but I will do it in slow motion a couple of times. So this time and the next time will be in slow motion. You can see it for yourself. Just an update before we move on. There was a little bit more said about the live stream with Jisha, and apparently Animals Healthcare is now making it as a lie, and that he doesn't believe it after the fact. He said in a live stream that he did believe it. Here is the proof. So these kittens were actually allowed to play with him watching them outside, and it's a very dirty friggin' area. Not only is it very dirty, but there's fagged outs and everything in the place, and you can actually tell. These kittens should not have been let out at such a young age. They're supposed to get their injections first, then you let them out. This one clearly shows that they're not ready. They can barely even walk. They're falling over themselves. They could easily fall into something that would hurt them probably. But yeah, 13 weeks is the minimum age, but you want to get their injections first. If you don't get their injections, they're susceptible to all kinds of disease. So let's straight to the same video. I'm going to show you the cage as well, and you can have a little look for yourself and see how disgusting this is. And while we're at it, we can also tell that Angel is certainly not interested in the feeding of those kittens. She actually still needs the milk to feed her newborns when they're due. But another issue lies in the ankles of her legs. She seems to have something wrong with her. Not only that, the person that said she has something wrong with her doesn't even know what it is. And those kittens are feeding off of her, meaning they could get infected as well, without even testing her.
Oh, here, there is a problem here. The skin and fur at her back legs was lost. I don't know exactly what happened, but it's not good. Okay, we will check for her.
So both Angel and the kittens were actually sick, and he basically allowed them to feed off her despite the fact that they're not her kittens. But hey ho, I mean, as long as they're fed, that's the main thing, right? Don't worry about any injections or anything as the time goes, because you never actually see that in the video. We just literally see her feeding them, and that's it. Now you would think after the other kittens actually grew up, they would at least be able to leave. They would actually feed them another way, or at least try and kind of wean them off with the mother's milk. No, he puts them in the cage with the newborns, and literally has them trample over each other. The kittens can't survive because they're not getting enough milk, and the older kittens seem to be stealing it from them. And he does nothing. He lets it happen. He literally forces her to give milk to the older ones and doesn't care about the younger ones. You can see in this clip that I'm showing you right now. Just to top it off, here's a clip of a cat being held down while she's trying to get away from the feeding. Like I said, a pregnant cat is put in with 3 other kittens, and unfortunately the kittens grow up. She has her own kittens, all 5 of them. There was 5. And then the older kittens basically start running over them. The older kittens should not be in the same cage with them at that point. They should be getting weaned off, like I said earlier. But there you go. Not only that, but she is sick and the kittens are sick. I will get to that point eventually, but right now I'm gonna post a little something here as well to show another person's take on this that is not mine.
From the mother cat, it's a really good thing. But with Smokey,
I just feed them before going to the new mom cat. So I think Smokey is still full now, and she doesn't want to take the milk, but she playing inside the box. You can see that.
So I'm not sure if this was actually Cuongs that did this, but here's another idea, another example of how you don't actually hold a cat against their will in order to be kittens. So the next one is Bella. She gives birth to 4 kittens in one video on the channel, and then later on she gets 2 other kittens thrust upon her who aren't actually hers. Meanwhile, Bella happens to also be suffering from ringworm, which is something you never let kittens near each other with if they have them. You separate the cats, you clean everything out, and you do whatever you can. As I said before, here's more evidence that she actually had major ringworm on her back, her face, and her legs. Also, you don't put a cat in a cage with kittens when it's still suffering from ringworm. You never do that. She looks like she needs a vet. Jesus, no wonder her kittens died. So for the kittens, Angel's lot basically lost their lives. And then she had another letter after people were telling them that she should be spayed so she doesn't go through it again. That lot also lost their lives as well. As for the 4 kittens that she was literally given, one of them passed away because it had problems with its legs. And it was apparently really weak. I don't know the whole situation there. I don't know what the disease was, but it was affecting the poor thing badly. And instead of actually going to a vet about it, he tried to take care of it himself. I should also point out Angel actually has another kitten. You can actually tell the kitten is well, considering it's been laying in the same spot for several hours. And just the way it moves. Let's just say the newborn kitten looks sick to me. The 2 kittens that Bella had.
Hello everybody, this is Animals Healthcare.
They also died.
And do you remember these 2 baby kittens? Yes, they are Max and Lobby. They were rescued by us from the street after a raining storm. And they were in a very bad condition with serious health disease.
And I can't really find out what happened to 2 of the kittens, but I know for a fact that one of them did actually die because she apparently killed it. And the other one, Caramel, was the last one to live. Unfortunately, that's what worries me about all the kittens and cats that he's been taking in. Many of them have actually lost their lives. So this is a map of the area. There are about 17 vets, 15, 17. And he could have easily took the kittens to either one of those. He could have even took the adult cats to one of those, but he didn't. Instead, he just tries to treat them himself, and unfortunately the end result is that they don't make it, or they can end up with permanent illnesses, things they will never recover from. Especially when he keeps asking YouTube for answers, when YouTube is not a place to be learning these things. So would you like to actually see how his channel actually started out? So this is an interesting one.
Cute. Oh, right there. Okay. Right there. Okay. Hey, cute. Oh my lord. Oh. You are right here. Oh my god, the kittens. Oh my lord. You.
Now, where have we seen this kind of damn rescue before, huh? And in the same video, there is also another cat that you may be pissed off by looking at. Unfortunately, he uses chemicals to freaking do its hair. And that same cat was also featured in our last video. We actually went through the evidence in the last one and we showed it there as well. So this is the actual video that the cat is on, now that we know. So on one of his live streams he was actually asked a question: does he actually know the person flying from Rescue Animals TN Center? The one who we actually compared the 2 kittens to before. They looked exactly the same. And here was his answer.
I think we should remove the bones. I don't want the kitten to eat that. 1 week, I think is enough for them. And then, after they getting better and bigger, so I will take them back to our guest house, and maybe I will adopt them as my pet.
This is literally two scenarios. The first one, he's actually behind the camera, so you can hear him behind the camera. He sounds a little bit different because of that. But he's in front of the camera in the next one, and you can actually tell it's his voice, the way he speaks. And here you can see another comparison to Animals Healthcare and Rescue TN Centre. If you just look at the room, it looks exactly the same, just different. The one where it looks like rubble was basically taken before the one where it's just stuff lying on the ground.
No, we cannot do this. We cannot.
And as you can see here, incompetency when it comes to actually trying to rescue an animal who has its head stuck in a plastic bottle. Instead of cutting the bottle, the first thing they do is try and pull the head out. Really almost tearing the kitten's poor head off of the poor kitten's body. As for the channel, I will leave you with one more thing. This is all the channels that we link together that are involving the people from Rescue Animals TN and Animals Healthcare. There is also racism involved in the channel of Animals Healthcare, and unfortunately there's nothing being done about that either on their channel, so that's another thing that's wrong with them. This individual literally said that Vietnam should actually be finished off, and I'm going to say this. Vietnam isn't as a whole a bad place. There are people who care for animals there. People that are doing what they can to stop it, but unfortunately they're not being heard. Even the media and other outlets are just ignoring it completely and going by what they see. Like the animal abuse, the cat meat shops, the dog meat shops and so on. But I can safely say that there are people actually fighting against this.
Nhà tôi từng có một con mèo và nó đã bị trộm mất.
Nhà tôi đã từng nuôi 2 chú mèo trắng. Và rồi một hôm, chúng nó bị bắt mất bởi những kẻ trộm mèo.
Trong những năm gần đây, chúng tôi đã bị mất khá nhiều mèo.
Tôi đã bị mất 2 chú mèo, nhưng rồi chúng bị bắt mất.
Tôi yêu nó như người thân trong gia đình.
Với tôi, nó là một người bạn vô cùng thân thiết.
Mèo là thành viên trong gia đình.
So I'm going to end this video by saying thank you to everybody that actually participated and helped along, including Kevin Lee, who wished to be named. And I would also like to thank everybody for the patience in waiting for the next video to come out. There is a lot of stuff to be covered besides Animals Healthcare, so yeah, this extends way beyond anything we could ever imagine. And YouTube needs to do something about it as soon as possible. I thank you for your time, and I will leave it there. Much appreciated. I will leave my last thoughts on the people who actually died in the Vietnam flooding just recently. My condolences go to the family and the friends of those who have been lost, and I hope you can rebuild something and just get back some normalcy in your lives. I am so sorry for your loss.